welcome you to college football on CBS. Today, Army-Navy, America's game, presented by USAA. And for the fifth time in the 115-year history of this rivalry, the game is being played in Baltimore, Maryland. 2-2 the two teams are in the previous competitions here. And speaking of the pageantry, the Leapfrogs and the Golden Knights, parachute teams from the respective academy. How about this? Well, he was 2 yards from the 50. Now let's go to our public address announcer, Bruce Cunningham.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation by Captain Michael Gore, United States Navy Chaplain Corps and Command Chaplain at the United States Naval Academy. And please remain standing for the singing of the National Anthem by the combined West Point Glee Club and the United States Naval Academy Glee Club under the direction of Dr. Aaron Smith.
I invite all who wish to pray to join me. Almighty God, we gather once more on the field of friendly strife with comrades in arms who are separated by the colors of their uniforms, but united in a common bond of service to their country. As much as they love this game, they love their country better and have sworn their lives to its defense. We are grateful for young men such as these and for the cadets and midshipmen they represent. They are truly the finest our country has to offer. Grant that they may do their best this day in friendly competition, remembering that someday soon, on some far-flung field of battle, they will undoubtedly stand shoulder to shoulder, facing a common foe on behalf of all who watch them from the stands this day. God bless them, God bless us, and God bless the United States of America. Amen.
Combined Glee Clubs of West Point and Annapolis, the U.S. Military Academy and the Naval Academy, and not far from Raven Stadium, Fort McHenry. And it was in this location that Francis Scott Keyes composed the words to our national anthem. Army-Navy again. Back with more right after this. College football on CBS. The Army-Navy game presented by USAA is sponsored by DirecTV, America's Navy, Red Lobster, and USAA, who along with the fans here in Baltimore salute America's game.
Only they know what it feels like. Years later, or when they're just starting out. Only they know what it feels like to be a different kind of kid who makes the choice to go to West Point or Annapolis.
Good.
A different kind of person who sacrifices some of the best years of their life.
I'm 22 years old.
Oh, I'm 22.
I'm 21 years old. Today is my birthday.
Dedicating themselves, risking their lives, all for their country.
All my friends back home partying, sleeping in.
Their college experience is just a little bit different from mine.
Yeah, I don't really know what a summer break is. We didn't have one last year.
Free time here at the academy.
It's just all of the challenges that you have to face.
The military, school, academics, and then on top of that, throwing in playing Division I football.
It's the best feeling to know that, you get to live your dream every day.
Captain Mike Vitti knows what it feels like to be one of them, to make a different choice, to learn true sacrifice, to embark on a commitment that has defined his life ever since. A decade ago, he was a fullback for the Army Black Knights, captain of the team as a senior. As a platoon leader in Afghanistan, he served heroically, earning the Bronze Star. But then he came home and determined his mission wasn't complete. So, for the past 7 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days, Mike Vitti has been walking across America, from sea to sea, headed to a football game.
I'm doing this because somebody has to. 1 kilometer for every service member killed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
He's doing a sensational thing with his walk across the country, and that's a perfect example of the kind of guys that we have come out of here.
Walking around the country kind of embodies that brotherhood.
I truly believe this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing at this exact moment.
It's about pride. It's about respect. It's about honor.
The sacrifice is for the men and women who gave us absolutely everything.
And with him always on this journey, Sacred Cargo.
I write 1 name for every single service member killed in action and walk those flags across the country to the Army-Navy game. For me, it's just a way to pay tribute to my heroes.
Among those names, a fallen teammate and a fallen rival. Their memories among those pushing every step forward.
Lieutenant Chase Presnicki and Lieutenant J.P. Blecksmith both played in that game and gave their lives for our country. That's what sacrifice looks like.
Today, on a field in Baltimore, Maryland, as 2 teams of football players, different from all the others, once again square off. Retired Captain Mike Vitti's journey ends where theirs begins, the Army-Navy game.
This is the game. This is our Super Bowl.
It's everything, actually.
What you dreamt about since you were a kid.
This is one of the biggest moments of our life.
This game with me means everything. I'll spend my 21st birthday beating Army.
Go Army! Beat Navy!
Beat Army. Let's go do this damn thing.
Go Army, beat Navy. For all that came before, go Army.
A soldier's journey ends at this game, different from any other.
And 2 hours ago, Captain Mike Vitti completed his cross-country walk as he arrived at Raven Stadium in downtown Baltimore for Army versus Navy. It's America's game presented by USAA. And on the field, the Black Knights of Army. An Apache flyover. And not too far behind them, the midshipmen of the Naval Academy. Here come the F-18s. Wow. I I can promise you it never, ever gets old. For Gary and me, when we get to be a part of this Army-Navy game, it is a special experience. Let's talk about 12 in a row, Gary. That's the number of times Navy has defeated Army in succession.
Yeah, it's all over this football game. I mean, you look at the Army players, the Navy guys before the game, they know the streak. They're trying to defend it. Army wants so badly to do it. Even in the march on, the Navy were chiding the Army guys when they were marching on. I mean, it's part of the game. They're high-quality kids. They have to deal with it, and I think they will.
Navy won its last 2 games. They are bowl eligible again. They'll go out to San Diego for the Poinsettia Bowl. But I don't know that this is the best Navy team we've seen.
Well, they played a tough schedule.
Okay.
I think they're, I have a team that could beat anybody, but they've lost a few games. You're right. But the center of the football team is their quarterback. I mean, Keenan Reynolds, when he's hot, he's a threat to upset any football team that he plays. And that's going to be the center for the Army defense. They must slow him down. I mean, he's been the MVP in this game back-to-back years. And if Army has any chance in this game, they're going to have to stop number 19.
12 in a row. Army's heard it until they're sick of it. They've got a brand new coach, Jeff Monken, who seems to be a really good fit.
He's embraced it, Vern. I mean, he's really motivated his football team that there's no running away like we talked about it. It's discipline. It's attitude. From the day he took this job, there's no detail too small. I think it's what Army is needed in this game. But, when you look at this Army football team, it's not going to be just one guy that really makes the difference. I think all of the Navy football players, from the right guard to the linebackers to Dixon, the fullback, they're all going to have to play just a little bit better to really take on Navy in this football game. But, of course, I think it's going to be the quarterbacks, too. When you're running the triple option, the Army's going to use 2 of them. Santiago's going to be one of them that'll play in the football game, and A.J. Scher, who started a year ago, will also play. It'll be 2 against 1, but that one, a pretty good football player for Navy.
And now we take you to First on the Field, presented by Microsoft Surface. The coin toss, and the coin will be tossed by the Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel.
Tails is the call, and it is tails. You win the toss, you want to defer. Navy wins the opening coin toss. We'll defer their options until the second half.
And moments ago, Allie LaForce with military dignitaries on the field.
Thank you, Vern. I'm joined by 4 of the highest-ranking military officials to talk a little bit more about this Army-Navy rivalry. We'll start on my right with the Secretary of Defense, Mr. Chuck Hagel. Mr. Secretary, why is this game so important to the men and the women of the armed forces all over the world?
Well, it represents the best of America. These young men and women who give so much, their families. It just embodies who we are, the spirit of America, and I'm just so proud to be part of it. I think every American is.
Absolutely. To my right is the Secretary of the Army, John McHugh. It's been 12 long years since Army's won this rivalry. What has been your message to the team all week?
This isn't about yesterday, last year. This is about today. These cadets know that. To go out and leave everything they got on the field. But as the Secretary said at the end, this is America's team.
Thank you. Over to my left is the Secretary of the Navy. You, on the other hand, have had the bragging rights for 12 years. Secretary Mavis, what do you think's been the key to Navy's longtime success against Army, and can they do it again today?
These are great kids, and every one of them is going to turn pro. They're just turning pro in defense of our country. They've always been great games. We've had an amazing run of success. We're going to do it again today. But after today, one team, one fight.
You got it. And lastly, how are you, sir?
Good.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Martin Dempsey. And you can squeeze in here so we can all hear this answer.
You can stand next to me.
Listen, we know that you oversee all 4 branches of the military, but it's no secret that you're a West Point graduate. How will you split your allegiances today?
Oh, there's no split allegiance today. Today it's all about go Army, beat Navy. But how about the sound of freedom just a moment ago?
Amazing.
That's what it's all about.
Men, thank you so much for your time. Thanks and good luck.
Allie, thank you. And Navy won the toss. As you heard, they have deferred. So Army will get the ball. And we are about to go. Austin Grebe will kick it deep. Josh Jenkins, the primary returner. Xavier Moss is deep as well. Short kick taken at the 12 by Josh Jenkins. Tries to bounce it outside and doesn't get very far. Well, we expect Angel Santiago to be the first out, the quarterback. And it will be number 3. The Chick-fil-A starting lineup. Got to wait for the cow.
Yeah, you're right. Vern, last year, the first 2 times Army had the ball, they fumbled. One they got back but lost over 15 yards. The next time they fumbled, the Navy got it. Ball. Control the ball is job 1 for Army.
Larry Dixon will get the first handoff. He comes right over 1,000 yards this year for the senior. Let's check the Army offense. Alexander, Shoemaker, Hugenberg, Holland, McDonald. Kelvin White is the tight end. Dixon, the 1,000-yarder, and I can't resist this. Edgar Poe is a wide receiver. We are in Baltimore, after all, in Ravens Stadium. Now, I got that out of the way.
That's good. Well, let's see if he can do more than just get announced. They might need a big play from him.
2nd down and 6. Dixon up the middle again, 2nd carry. And the Navy defense will line up thusly. Questenberry, senior, very effective, and they hope for big things out of the nose tackle, Sarah, today. And down at the bottom, the captain, Parrish Gaines, a senior, quiet, effective leader for all his years. And Ken Niumatalolo, the head coach of the Naval Academy.
Whoa, look at that.
Little wrinkle. 3rd and 3. Looks like he got it. Trenton Turrentine, number 10.
Looked like the 4 horsemen there shifting around, didn't it? A little shift, center. Boy, was center shifted away from the ball. That had to at least keep the Navy off balance a little bit. You know, Vern, Jeff Monken was quoted as, listen, Navy's a little better than us right now. That's what he told me.
Right.
But we have a better chance of beating them now than we did at the beginning of the season. We're a better team. We've improved all year.
4 wins for the men from Army. Here's the option, and Santiago, not much. Jordan Drake, number 13, linebacker, made the tackle.
That Navy defense is very solid against, especially this wishbone attack. They've got a lot of players that have played a lot of snaps, but I think the middle of it is the key guy. I mean, when you have a nose tackle like Sarah, he just almost takes on 2 blocks almost every play, and sometimes 3.
Now, he really has been effective in the middle of that defensive line. 2nd down and 10. And it's going to be Dixon again. Larry Dixon out of Bremerton, Washington. The teams are tied 2-2. This is the 5th game in Baltimore. Navy won the first game in 1890. And as you have heard, if you followed the build-up to this game, they've won the last 12 in a row. 2 years ago, Army came very close, a fumble on the last drive at the 14-yard line.
This would be a perfect game plan for Army if they could make it in chunks of 3-3-2. Here's the same shift in short yardage.
Something rare. A pass. Nope. Something not rare. Incomplete.
Well, it worked the first time against this Navy defense of Buddy Green, but the second time the veterans reacted very good to it, shifted, and forced the throw to the sideline, and it was caught out of bounds or missed out of bounds, however what happened.
Joe Walker was the intended receiver. And so 4th down and 4.
No way they go for this. No way.
Alex Tardew is on to punt. And Brandon Sanders, who is a speedster, at the 20-yard line.
Navy keeps their defense out there for safe, but this ball's going to be punted. Looks like Army moved. Or was it delay a game?
Ooh.
Delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
This is an ACC crew, and the referee is Riley Johnson. So 4th and 9. Sanders for the year has returned only 6. Neither team particularly effective in that phase of the game. Tardu. Nice. And a fair catch called for and taken at the 21, perhaps the 22. 43-yard punt, nothing on the return. Ravens Stadium, Baltimore. Time called. Well, the joint be jumping. The cadets, the minute we went to commercial, started hopping up and down, and some of the subs did the same thing on the bench. That leads us to the chicken. Chick-fil-A, that is. Thank you very much. Starting quarterback, Keenan Reynolds.
Well, he's missed a couple games this year with injury. He had knee problems, shoulder problems. But when he's in there, he's just a handful. I really believe, Vern, he could run any offense and be that good of a quarterback. He's Russell Wilson-ish.
Out of Antioch, Tennessee, 3rd year as a midshipman. Seems so long ago, but we first saw him against Notre Dame in Dublin. Here's the option, and Reynolds. Nice tackle. And the tackle from Jeffrey Bacon, who's getting a start today. He's a captain.
Yeah, it was Bacon and Jenkins. I think both of them, the corner on the play. Bacon cleaned it up, but Josh Jenkins, who's usually a cover corner, was really the one that took the legs out from under the quarterback.
Noah Copeland is directly behind Keenan Reynolds. 2nd down, 6. Nice defense on Copeland. Joe Drummond with the tackle, number 54.
Vern, if you ever get to meet Joe Drummond, you should be nice to him. The guy may be president of the United States one day. I mean, if you got to talk about someone that's got it all together, it might be Joe Drummond. And let me add one more thing. He's a scratch golfer.
I know that.
How about that?
He played football, basketball, and golf in high school.
He got a scratch tackle on that one, I'll tell you that.
Joe Drummond, one of the seniors.
Look at this.
Reynolds to throw. No, he will not. And he will not get anything. Richard Glover, number 98. The defensive tackle. It's 3 and out for Navy.
Well, this is a veteran secondary for Army. A lot of games started. Having Bacon back helped, and there was no one to throw that football to. What a great defensive start for Army. And, couple that with no turnover to begin the game. I think Army likes the way the game started compared to a year ago.
Here is the punt.
There you go.
They got the block. Loose ball picked up. Touchdown, Army. Xavier Moss. Josh Jenkins with the block.
Vern, since 2001, that is the first points by Army other than their offense. They have had no points on special teams or defense since 2001. A little help, and this time from special teams. And that's the last year they've won, 2001.
That's true. Block punt. The extra point forthcoming. A 7-yard return. Daniel Grachowski will attempt the extra point. Maybe.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty will be added to the try.
A Let's look at the block again.
You could tell this was scouting right here. Jenkins is going to come right off the edge. When the Navy shifts in, he had the lane. One shift in, and Jenkins, the fastest player for Army, made that short corner. You know that Army felt good about that all along. They knew Navy would shift, and they had the path.
Low snap, nice hold by A.J. Shure. Special teams. Gary, another look at the block.
Jenkins had a block against Fordham at the end of the half for a big play for their win, but this time he was in there so fast, he almost overran it.
Nevertheless, Army leads by 7.
I am Army defensive end Joe Drummond. One day I hope to be the best officer in the Army that I can be. Go Army, beat Navy.
Joe Drummond said his dad took him to his first Army game. They played Duke at Mikey Stadium his junior year. He fell in love with the location, the facilities, and most of all, the aura of West Point.
Just thought it was funny that he played golf in high school, and his brother was now playing at Hillsdale College, a football player. I mean, tremendous family, and he's a good football player, too.
So the block punt leads to the touchdown. Caleb Brewer will kick off. Short at the 10. Ryan Williams-Jenkins at the 30. At the 38-yard line. Nice return of a short kickoff. Took it on the run.
Yeah, we saw Ryan in the first game of the year when he had over 100 yards rushing against Ohio State. It's really the only running back other than Keenan Reynolds and the fullback, and either the slot backs that had more than 100 yards all year. He's had his big game early.
There's a give up the middle. That's Noah Copeland again. Well, you've met Keenan Reynolds. Let's introduce you to the remainder of the Navy offense. Heath Benz Fleming, Jake Zuzek. Longtime starter, senior on that offensive line. And you see Noah Copeland now with a couple of carries at the fullback spot. 2nd and 7. Test the middle, get about 2.5. Army's defense. Drummond you met, Eugene Riccardi. Down at the bottom, Jeffrey Bacon, captain of this team, injured a leg in the game against Yale. He's missed the last 8 and was not listed on the depth chart. But we were told yesterday that he might be able to play, and here he is starting. It'll be 4th down. Richard Glover, 2nd tackle in as many series.
Yeah, 4th and short here. Let's see what Ken Niumatalolo does. Will he punt the ball?
It appears he will. Pablo Beltran is on. He's a 4-year punter for the Navy.
Let's find Chris Jenkins, see if they go for it again.
And appropriately, Edgar Poe here in Baltimore takes the return and gets it out to the 16-yard line.
Well, Army's defense, 2 straight 3-and-outs. The first one was a block punt. Talked about some help for this Army football team. They did it. They got some points from someone other than their offense.
Time called in Baltimore, 7-0 Army. We're going to take a look at the lineup. Regional coverage tomorrow. The NFL on CBS. League game early. Miami at New England. Jacksonville, Baltimore. Allie LaForce is going to stay over here and do a double dip. Denver and San Diego late. An important game in the AFC West. And it all begins with JB and the Quartet. The NFL Today tomorrow. Presented by Southwest Airlines. Inside the 20 now. Army with the football. 7:43 to go. Opening quarter.
Santiago takes care of the ball. He does not turn it over, and I think that's key for Army on offense. Just take care of that ball, find some offense, and then maybe put Sure in a little later for some more quarterback runs.
That was Terry Baggett, who a year ago exceeded 1,000 yards. Injured much of this year with an ankle. Number 31, Terry Baggett from Chicago. Remember a year ago he had 304 yards in a single game?
Yeah, against Eastern Michigan.
Yeah. Second down, 6. Oh, boy.
Will Anthony, he's another one of those guys. When we talk about Sarah, Quessenberry, Will Anthony this time, I don't know if it was supposed to be a play where, you know, actually it was supposed to be Maples that was supposed to come in and block him and didn't have a chance. And Will Anthony said, all right, you put a running back on me, I'll get the quarterback.
And he did. 3rd and 7. Edgar Poe wide to the left. Siobhan Lawrence, bottom of the screen. Batted backwards. It'll be 4th down. Chris Johnson, oft-injured linebacker for this Navy team.
Coming off the edge, he's the outside linebacker. No one really blocks him on the play, and very athletic. I mean, even when we saw him against 2 years ago against in the Ohio State game, at the beginning of this season, you could tell that he is a guy that could play at any level on any team. Chris Johnson.
DeBrandon Sanders for Navy is back to return the punt. On 4th down 7, here's Tardu. They're going to let this one bounce, and it'll take a substantial Army roll to the 30. $51-yard punt for Tardu. 7-0. Midway, first quarter. Army, Navy for the 115th time. 7-0 Army, first quarter, 6 to go. Army trying to break a 12-game losing streak. They last won this game in 2001. What's happened since then? Well, among other things, you've got Brady winning his first Super Bowl. LeBron, #1 draft pick. Affected my life with Facebook and Twitter were created. The college football playoff has been created, and Barack Obama became the 44th. It has been a long time for Army. They're tossing beach balls in the cadet section. Hey, you get away from West Point for a Saturday and...
Yeah, that's true. Feels like a trip, right?
Yeah.
Interesting spot where Navy has the ball 70 yards away, Vern. Of the 51 touchdowns, 29 have come between 70 and 79 yards. Navy's comfortable.
Keenan Reynolds tackled by Jeremy Timp, the linebacker.
Boy, this Army defense seems just wired in for this triple option.
See that bottom line on the right side, 24 turnovers.
Yep, it's a story.
Yeah. Second down, 10.
Can't beat yourself before you can beat the other team. Have a chance to beat Navy.
Tanner Fleming, the center, over the ball. Keenan Reynolds up under center on 2nd and 10. Reynolds wants to throw. Can't. Sacked. Andrew King, number 11, the middle linebacker.
And again, that veteran defense, the veteran secondary just covers them. There's no one open. Sending out 3 receivers. Watch that secondary react. Safeties, bacon. That's how you play defense. And that allows the defensive line to get inside. Andrew King from the linebacker position forces the tackle. Army's defense seems a half step ahead, don't they?
3rd down 10. Reynolds drills it right side. Good coverage. Wow, one-on-one.
You know how we said in the open, Vern, that you have to do, everybody has to do just a little bit more.
Right.
Stephen Riccardi right there, number 32. Watch him get off the block. Just get off the block. Just a little bit more from everybody along the way. That's how you can beat Navy. That's how you can change 12 straight into a win.
3 straight 3-and-outs. And Beltran gets this one away. Edgar Poe. Defender slipped. Poe is taken down. Brendan Clements, and let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Vern. The Army sideline is absolutely going nuts. They're jumping on top of each other. They're motioning to the stands for everybody to stand up and cheer. The coaches had a hard time even getting them to sit down on the bench because they were so excited. You can tell it's a powerful moment and a lot of momentum going their way right now.
All right, thank you, Allie. They lead 7-0. Just under 4 to go, opening quarter.
Seem so prepared, don't they?
They do.
Seem to be able to feel the play before it's happening, and then just like there, they're defeating the blocks.
1st down 10. The pitch, the lead blocker, good one. But then a trailing defender. That was Joe Walker with the pitch.
Counter option that time. Get it out around the corner. A pitch man, and a good block to the outside by Larry Dixon, the fullback. When you run the counter option, it's the fullback who is leading the pitch man.
2nd down 6. Jeff Monken in his first year at West Point. Ken Niumatalolo has been in Navy for a while, and they're both acolytes of Paul Johnson. This friendship goes back to years at Hawaii. This is the 1990 Hawaii football coaching staff. There's Paul Johnson, so successful at Navy and Georgia Tech. Ken Niumatalolo, and you saw Jeff Monken, and here's the 27 Navy football team with Monken and Niumatalolo as assistants for Paul Johnson. So they both learned a lot, and they have remained great friends, Niumatalolo and Jeff Monken.
2 good football coaches.
Yes, indeed.
They're going to shift it again or stay in it unbalanced. This time they stay unbalanced.
1st down, Larry Dixon.
Well, that little sideways shift by the offensive line. This time you wonder if the Navy defense was expecting a shift. They didn't get it. They run the unbalanced to the right. Seems like, now we've been talking about Army being very conservative. But it seems like they run to the right every time.
Yes.
Nothing to the left. Get it? Right, conservative.
I have.
They've been running right. What can I say?
I once asked President Obama if he felt comfortable going to the right.
There it goes to the right again?
Yeah. Somehow politics just had to creep into this. 7-0. I got it. It took me a while, though.
I know.
I was being obtuse. 2nd and 7.
Well, this Navy football team has a lot of experience. They've been in a lot of big games. When you play Ohio State, Notre Dame, and their schedule, they've been scored on before. Watch them kind of settle down and try to force this Army offense into doing something a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Santiago. 1st down, Army.
Well, right now, offensive coordinator Brent Davis, who was with Jeff Monken at Georgia Southern, is pulling all the correct levers. Just seems On defense, they're a half a step ahead. On offense right now, they're a half a step ahead with their triple option.
That's a gain of 13. We near the final minute of the opening quarter. Look, Garrett, they went left.
Finally. This was just an option play, just a sprint option to the left. No faking. Well defended by Navy, forces Santiago to keep the football for basically a small gain. Again, Army would like to do it this way. Keep the ball away from Keenan Reynolds. Make those plays 3, 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. They don't need big plays. They need to control the clock and keep the Navy offense off the field.
Second down 7 again. Up the middle. Raymond Maples. He's another of 1,000-yard rushers for this Army team. He accomplished that 2 years ago. We've reached the end of the first quarter. Block punt, run in for a touchdown, and that gives Army a 7-0 lead. We'll return to Baltimore after this message and a word from your local station. We welcome all of you back to America's Game, Army-Navy from Baltimore. We began the second quarter. Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce. I'm Vern Lundquist. It's 7-0. And Army, despite the cheering of the young Navy fans, has controlled the football game so far. Third down 4. Chased. Whoa. Now that's a sack. Jordan Drake.
I have to say I'm shocked with that call. Totally shocked with that call. Army got a bit greedy. Vern just told you they controlled the whole first quarter, almost pitched a perfect game to this point. I thought they were in 4-down territory. I thought they were just going to run it and run it again if they didn't make it. Got a little greedy, and their first negative play of the game.
Huge loss. And Alex Tardew is on to punt. Brandon DeSanders will let it bounce this time.
Yeah, not a good one this time,
no.
Right?
.28-yard punt after that huge sack. And Navy gets the ball back. Jordan Drake got to Angel Santiago. Timeout. .7 opening moments. Second quarter. How about the Army defense?
Well, Navy has run 9 plays, Vern. 3 and outs. And it has been a team defense. When they've tried to run the option, nothing. Drop back to pass, nothing. Everything Keenan Reynolds has done so far has been snuffed out, and the Army defense has been a step ahead. That's really a perfect first quarter.
Reynolds so far 6 yards rushing, 3 passing. First down 10, about 3 yards on first down. Your impression, Mr. Daniels?
Well,
I'm doing like this.
I'm delighted we got a football game.
Yes.
You know, at sometimes you look at these games, you go, boy, Navy's got a lot of good football players if Keenan gets going, but don't underestimate Navy. They've been in a lot of big games. They've seen it all, and they have weapons.
This is going to bring up a third down as Chris Swain gets the carry on that one, number 37. Both of these teams, as you would expect, you will use a lot of running backs. Third down 2. Navy looking for its first down of the game. They trail by 7. Reynolds around the end, down the sidelines. Well, Gary mentioned Keenan Reynolds did miss 2 games, and they played him once when he was injured. Again, Niumatalolo said that was a big mistake.
Yeah, a little bit against Rutgers. He got hurt. He sat out, as Vern told you, those 2 games. But, you know, he has really only been stopped this year in 3 games. Ohio State held him to 42, Rutgers 25, and Air Force to 27. That's the only games he's really been stopped.
Stopped at the 40. Well, he is only a junior out of Antioch, Tennessee, but rushing yards first, second in career yards, 61 touchdowns, and 4 200-yard games. I love what you said. He could run any offense in the country.
I think he could. I mean, he's a Blake Sims type athlete.
There you go.
You know.
Play action now.
Oh, he's got the wheel route.
And he's got a guy wide open, and he drops it.
Another break for Army. The wheel route placed perfectly and dropped. You could see it right from the start. Going to go right down this sideline, cleared inside by the receiver. And I think Williams-Jenkins, was it the fullback or Williams-Jenkins? It was Noah Copeland who dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a little more sense. Fullback dropping the ball rather than one of those slot backs.
So 3rd down 9. That's a wonderful missed opportunity is Noah Copeland.
Yeah, that was a break. Army needed a couple breaks. They got one there. Woo!
How about that? That's Swain.
Yes. If you just look at the carries, when you look at the rush attempts for Navy, Keenan Reynolds has 205 rush attempts for the season, almost twice as much as the next player, which is fullback Copeland, and Swain has 87. They go quarterback, fullback. That's the center of this offense.
Right. And this is Swain, the backup fullback, 2nd down and 9.
Navy doing their version of an up-tempo, calling the plays at the line of scrimmage, but Army's just giving a big yawn to this. They don't even try to substitute.
Reynolds under some pressure. Shakes the first tackle, shakes the second, and lunges forward for a couple of extra yards. Jeremy Timpf, number 39, was the guy who got there.
Well, I'll show you how important Jeff Bacon is. Watch him read the option and find the slot back right away. He reads it and handles the slot back. That's where the play was trying to go that time. That's experience and why Jeff Bacon was so important for this football game for Army.
Out 8 games with an injury. 3rd down. Reynolds, I think, is going to be about a foot short.
Yeah, and Kenny Niumatalolo will go for this one.
Yes.
The way this game has been unfurling so far. Following the fullback, one of their staples on the play.
4th and a foot or so.
Well, if it was, most times they run the quarterback in this situation.
Man, they do.
I remember all the way back when we first started doing this, Vern, Ricky Dobbs would always follow that fullback or slot back on these short yardage plays. This time it's just wedge so close that you knew Reynolds was going to keep that football.
1st down 10. After going the entire first quarter without a first down. And now this drive sustained again.
Yeah, Navy leads the country in rushing, 358 yards a game, and it's not by accident. Sooner or later, they're going to find those little creases.
That tackle made by Joe Drummond. Get the fastest scores and updates for Army, Navy, and all teams with the CBS Sports app. The fastest app for sports fans. Download the CBS Sports app now.
I wonder if Joe Drummond had an equipment problem right there because he asked off the field. I wonder if he broke a face mask or something.
Looks like it. He's gone to the helmet. Second down and 10. The pitch just as contact was made. And a huge defensive play by Andrew King, number 11.
I'll tell you what a defensive call this time. Stephen Riccardi, number 32, makes the play. Keenan Reynolds, lucky he got it off. Look at 32 right in the face of Keenan Reynolds.
And so on third down, this is the 13th play in this drive. Think back to a third down that Army had when they dropped back to pass.
Yeah, that was just a perfect call on defense that time by Jay Bateman. Army's defensive coordinator just dialed up a perfect attack defense there.
3rd and 16. Reynolds chased. Lets it go deep. Incomplete. Pressure from behind from James Kelly, number 43. And so it'll be 4th down, and again, Niumatalolo will punt.
It's really interesting, Vern, when you look at it, it's two wishbone teams, but the Army secondary is making a statement. Navy feels like they have to loosen them up with some pass plays. Everything they tried, Navy's secondaries had an answer except for the one drop pass where they got a break.
4th down, 16. Beltran earlier blocked for the first time in his career, and that led to the only score we've had in the ball game. This one will...
Oh, man.
Wow, it was so close.
Went back. It's a touchback, isn't it? I think it is a touchback.
It is, but ever so close. Noah Copeland was the man down there. Beltran thought he had punched it perfectly.
Yeah, he did that end-over-end kick and thought it was going to stop. It's faked, and then watch this. Copeland's got it. Navy must knock it in because that ball had stopped. Navy must have knocked the ball in at the end because this ball was stopped dead had they just been a little more patient with it. There, it stopped. Oh, and then bounced in at the last second. Ryan Harris looking for that number all over. Ryan Harris knocks it in the end zone.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I don't know if you were counting. Let's hit 1,000. You want to be strong? You want to look like me? You want to look like that guy. You all right, little buddy?
Yeah, I'm in the Navy.
Pathetic. Look how this guy does PT. This is how I do PT. No burn. A little bit of burn. There's the burn. Puny Navy sidearm. Pathetic. Army sidearm. Nice ride, Navy guy.
Thanks, I got it on a loan.
Pathetic. This is what I drive. Obviously, here in the Army, we do things a little bit differently. Hey, Navy guy, what happened to you? He got beat pretty badly. Pathetic. On game day, don't be like this guy. Go Army.
Coming Monday on CBS, these geniuses don't fit in the world, but they're the only ones who can save it. A new episode of Scorpion Monday at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Big break for Army when Noah Copeland seemed to have stopped that punt at the 1-foot line, and a teammate, Ryan Harris, came in and tipped it into the end zone. And so the young men from West Point open at their own 20-yard line. Santiago keeps it, goes to the right.
You know, this this Army team just seems more disciplined. And Jeff Monken, right from day one, that was his, I think, what he said, looked at the team needed more. I was reading about Army's first scrimmage this fall. They ran 55 plays, and in film study, Jeff said he noticed 90 total effort plays that they just didn't have enough effort. They had to do 90 grass drills the next day after that scrimmage. I'll tell you what Larry Dixon was doing during those 90s after this play.
Second down, 7. There's the hand up to Turrentine. He doesn't get much.
How about that total team? Remember, there's 22 guys in a scrimmage on the field, 55 plays. They had to do 90 grass drills, and the captain right there during the grass drills was going, "Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Smile if you love it." That's the type of guys he's coaching there for West Point and this Army football team.
Larry Dixon is senior, I mentioned earlier, out of Bremerton, Washington. And ironically, his mom, Laura Ashley, served in the Navy for 24 years as a chief petty officer.
We'll never forget Larry Dixon, you know, in that game a few years ago.
2 years ago, you bet. Draw play. Dixon breaks the tackle. Wonderful run. Right on cue. Thank you.
Don't you love it? Don't you love it? This guy loves playing football. People around him said he's never had a bad day. Never had a bad day. Sprint draw, runs right through a tackle, and then puts his hand down, keeps his balance, and makes the first down.
His mom, Laura Ashley, has made the trip from Bremerton, just across the sound from Seattle. His two sisters are here as well. First down and 10.
Flea flicker.
Santiago, nobody open downfield. Heads right.
Well, this time the Navy secondary saves a big play. Army pulling out all the stops, giving the flea flicker play, but the Navy defense is there, and then Santiago does exactly what he should. You see the secondary, that's who the ball was supposed to go to. It was handled very cleanly by this Navy defense, especially Gaines. Parrish Gaines, their senior guy, wasn't fooled just like Bacon before.
Second down and 2. Up the middle. Now let's go to the studio for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan. Here's Adam Zucker.
Hey, Vern, it is the ultimate Heisman Watch. The 3 finalists are right here in the studio. Marcus Mariota, Amari Cooper, and Melvin Gordon. Will be talking to them at halftime. You don't want to miss it. Now back to the Army-Navy game.
Adam, thank you, and we look forward to that.
There's like a play-action pass just standing there. Mariota fakes it. Gordon throws it deep to Cooper. Couldn't have any better than that, could you?
Cooper makes his 184th catch of the season.
And Lane Kiffin puts his hands up before it's even caught.
Perfect. We've seen that twice. First down and 10. Santiago, there's the pitch. Lead blocker. This is Joe Walker. Inside the 40. Turrentine with the key block.
It was Trenton Turrentine, number 10, that gets the arc block. Watch number 10. You've seen the option a dozen times, 100 times, but the key to it is truck and trailer. The truck and the trailer. Just follow that truck. Outside hip, no dip. The first day you put in the triple option, that's what you hear. Outside hip, no dip.
You sound like a rap star.
No, that's the words of the triple option. You have to set up the block by staying on that outside hip.
There's Santiago. Jordan Drake with the tackle. Well, we just were introduced to the 3 finalists for the Heisman, and that sets up the Duck and the Aflac trivia question. When were the only 2 times that 2 Heisman Trophy winners played in a game against each other? It's happened twice. And if Mariota wins, he will face Jameis Winston in Florida State out in the Rose Bowl.
You did say if. You didn't really need to, did you? Or did
I don't think so.
You threw it in there.
Yeah, well, because I am the ultimate cautious.
It's a big show tonight, I guess, right?
Yeah. We keep the suspense going for as long as we can. Left side. Larry Dixon again.
Just talking about the significance here of this drive. You know, it's going to be under 3 minutes before, you know, they get the next snap, or at least after the next snap. Remember, Navy gets the ball to start the second half. Can they get a stop here? Can Army get another one? A key part of the football game right here.
See plenty of time on the play clock. Third down 2. This drive began at the 20-yard line. The only score in the game, a blocked punt that led to a touchdown.
Don't expect a play action pass this
I don't think so. Put that one in hiding. Oh, boy. Well, they'll go for it on fourth.
Well, it's in between territory. I think you're right. Was this Sarah this time that makes this play from the nose tackle position? Couldn't quite see. Will Anthony,
yep.
number 90. Yeah, Anthony takes on the blocker that time and just steps out and makes the play. Todd McDonald had a block, but did not handle Anthony.
Grachowski is the field goal kicker. His longest is 46. And Army will go for the first down.
Watch 3 games, and almost 100% the quarterback keeps it in this situation.
The quarterback is the senior Santiago. There's that little shift. Right side. Let's see what. Oh, timeout call.
Oh, Navy took a timeout.
Wow.
There is no play. Before the snap, timeout, Navy. That is their first charge of this half. This will be a timeout.
This time the shift. Let's see if we can see Niamataloto call timeout. He did. Ooh, that was really close.
Yes, it was.
I hate that rule. I really do. Timeout should be called on the field. Hate it.
7-0 Army, and it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
You know, Vern, Army needed something to go their way. And so far in this game, they made it happen. Blocking a punt. They haven't had any points other than their offense. And then a little good fortune. A drop ball by Copeland there, and a punt that could have been down inside the 1 gets batted into the end zone. Some good fortune now. Let's see if it continues on this 4th down call.
Now they got 4th and about a foot. And Santiago appeared to have gotten the first down.
Yeah, and remember, this drive would have started on the half-yard line instead of the 20. It was a very important play, that batting it into the end zone there.
4th and 1.
They've already made it once, because remember, the 22 guys on the field didn't know that there was a timeout. That's why I don't like that call.
4th and 1 with 2:14 to go before the half. Matt Hugenberg, number 53, getting ready to snap the ball back. Quarterback sneak again. He didn't get it.
Did he fumble it? He fumbled it. How about that timeout taken? I think this ball was fumbled.
Well, it's going to be marked short regardless, so it would go over on down.
Well, I thought his forward progress was good.
Did you really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he fumbled this ball. So he goes for it. It's punched through.
Down, short of the line to gain. The ball will go over on downs.
Well, they're saying what you say, but that ball was pumped, and Obi Uzoma had the football and ran down the field. Look at Uzoma take the football.
Yep. Looked like it was forced by Quisenberry, number 45.
Punched out in the first either turnover or whatever. That could have, either way, the whistle blew. So even if the replay official calls it a fumble, Navy is not going to get a touchdown out of this. Run. How about the timeout? Could that be the changing event? The timeout by Niamataloto.
Ball goes over. Navy has it.
Adam Zucker in New York. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, it is Heisman Central here in the studio. Spencer, Brian, and I will chat with the Heisman finalists, Marcus Mariota, Amari Cooper, and Melvin Gordon. We'll have some laughs. Now back to Army-Navy.
Well, we'll chuckle here, too. Just make sure we're all in the same group. And the answer to the Aflac trivia question. When were the only 2 times that 2 Heisman Trophy winners played in a game against each other if Marcus wins? And I did say if. It happened in the Orange Bowl, Jason White and Matt Leinart. And it happened Florida versus Oklahoma, Tim Tebow. and Sam Bradford. First down 10. Ruled the change took place on downs.
Yes.
After a timeout called, here's Reynolds back to throw. Deep down the middle. Caught. Oh, wow. Jameer Tillman.
Right, here's Tillman's going to come. A little bit of a miscommunication right there in the backfield. Pierce gets turned around, faces one way, and then comes back. Good catch. And then Tillman turns it upfield. How about, this is just shocking, the difference of what's happened since that timeout play.
Let's take another look at that timeout called by Niumatalolo on 4th and 1.
And did he get it off just in time? Oh, boy, I don't even know if he did. That ball was being snapped just as he's calling timeout. Wow. Obviously we can't hear the whistle.
Right.
But there was, the only person that could have done it was that linesman right there.
Ball start, number 62, 5-yard penalty, second down.
You know, there's a lot of Army generals that could start an investigation right now into this. I'm telling you right now, if they can, somebody could be walking on the field right now and say, oh, no, we just got word. A committee's been put together.
Quick flip, caught. That's Ryan Williams-Jenkins.
It is. That's who I thought dropped the first one, the slot back when it was Copeland. But this time, Ryan makes that catch and makes another positive play. And this is deja vu a little bit. Remember when Keenan Reynolds 2 years ago as a freshman led Navy down the field for that ultimately go-ahead winning touchdown.
3rd down 1. Pitch. Missed tackle in the backfield. Joffrey Whiteside with a first down.
Andrew King had a chance to stop this. Number 11, watch him in the backfield, just got outran on the play. And that's exactly who the coach is running over to.
Time called, 25 seconds to go. Navy driving. Geico halftime report coming up shortly. We'll go back to the studio. Adam and the guys and the Heisman finalists on the Geico halftime report.
Well, you know, if the Navy coach can do it, the Army coach can do it. Watch Jeff Monken running on the field. Again, I don't think that's right. I think he should be penalized, and then he goes right to King, the linebacker, to tell him that he should have been on that pitch count.
Interesting. Second interesting timeout that we've had.
You've got the pitch man, he says to Andrew King, and Andrew King goes, I know, Coach.
Yep.
He just outran me.
First down 10. Left side, a struggle, and the ball is inside the 10. It goes to Chris Swain.
Timeout. 2 timeouts left for Navy. Smartly used. Can't say enough how in control of this football game Army was. Okay? They had made that first down. Timeout comes, and they don't, and all of a sudden, it could be way different.
Thursday, rookie quarterback Blake Bortles and the Jaguars take on the Titans in an AFC South clash. Thursday Night Football, Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern, live on the NFL Network.
In this situation, Vern, as you look at the setup for the matchup right there, with only 1 timeout in 24 seconds, the best play call here is a pass. That way you could save on 3rd down the option of doing both.
Jameer Tillman is at the top of the screen in tight. Here's Reynolds rolling to his right, firing it into the end zone. Caught by Jameer Tillman.
And it also works a lot better if you complete it. Bootleg play, just think about it. If it's incomplete, then on third down you can do either. Little bootleg coming across right in front of Hayden Pierce. Perfect throw and a well-executed drive by Navy. And I can't even get over how this game has changed.
Austin Greeby to tie it up. Notched at 7. Just think about it. At the 30-yard line, Army appeared to have achieved a first down, but timeout was called, or was it in time?
I don't think so. I'm telling you. And then the next play, whether he made it or not, it was going to be a fumble. I do think it was a fumble. And then right down the field, Keenan Reynolds, the worst nightmare for Army. He loves these 2-minute situations. And on second down, he produces a touchdown. And remember, Navy, who deferred, gets the ball to start the second half.
18 seconds to go, first half. Tied 7-7. Well, Keenan Reynolds perfect on that last drive. And he found Jameer Tillman twice. Second time for the touchdown.
Yeah, his first down throw right down the gut to start the drive. That was a 35-yard throw to start 39-yard throw to start the drive. Just a wonderful leader who's been in, like we talked about, big games. He's been in them before.
This is Josh Jenkins. December 27th, CBS Sports rings into bowl season with a Pac-12 ACC matchup as the Sun Devils of Arizona State get some face on with the Duke Blue Devils in the Hyundai Sun Bowl. Be a devil of the game.
Actually, I do. It's a great matchup. I really think, I look forward to seeing Coach Cutcliffe again. It's been a while since his days at Tennessee when we had him back in, was it 2006, 7, basically?
Yep. First down 10. This is Terry Baggett.
Jeff Monken takes a timeout.
After a game of 13. Monken grew up in Joliet, Illinois, and is a graduate of Millikan, a Division III program in Decatur, Illinois.
Now, interesting, if Army does throw a Hail Mary here, what usually happens is Kelvin White, number 2, their tight end, a former quarterback, is the guy who usually throws it. He can toss it 65 yards, so let's see if they dial him up to throw the deep ball.
For the season, White has thrown a couple, neither complete.
Navy's secondary is back there like it's a kickoff return.
They sure are. Look at that.
Yep, kickoff return left.
And it is Kelvin White who's going to take the snap.
And Army doesn't have a lot of fat guys on, so this should be okay. Throw it.
And he does. Tipped.
Oh.
Incomplete. Well, interesting last 6 or 7 minutes, wasn't it?
It sure was. This ball could have popped up and gone to the last guy. It just stayed flat. But that's what you want, one last chance. Xavier Moss was the last guy back there. If it could have just been tipped a little higher.
And let's go down to Allie, who is with Ken Niumatalolo.
Coach, that timeout seemed to be a turning point and a big one for your team in that